Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central, we're live. We're into the second hour. Thank you for joining us. Wide open phones, 800-259-9231. Well, we covered probably 80 stories last hour. I did a pretty good job, I think, overall. Played a lot of clips. I'm going to play more clips and analyze them right now, then go right to your phone calls and then more news. After I take a couple rounds of calls, I'm going to actually get to these videos. Video on Infowars.com and PresentPlanet.com right now. A Paul Joseph Watson article. Muslim scholar celebrates extinction of blue-eyed, blonde-haired Germans. So we have a video of the Green Party and other Muslim leaders getting up saying, yay, get rid of the white people. This is wonderful. I mean, this is the biggest line of racism I've ever heard, and it just shows what leftist brainwashing does to people. And I'll be honest, I've always been an inclusive, very open person, but when folks are running around saying this openly, it gets old. And a lot of folks that, quote, aren't white, but also a lot of them are white, they just are so out of their minds, they think it's normal to say whites are inherently bad. So that's coming up. 80% of Brits would be happy to quit Russia. 80% of Brits would be happy to quit UK for Russia after Putin offers free land. That's a real story. We're going to get to that. Italy set to double baby bonus to fight birth rate apocalypse. No-go areas. Huge increase in attacks on police in Sweden by the wonderful radical jihadis that have been brought in masse. But before I do that and go to your phone calls, I want to play a couple of these clips here. I already played Hillary saying, don't worry, I'm going to get your guns. And I'm going to stack the Supreme Court when I win, and we're going to take the guns, and promising to do so. Let's play a clip of Nancy Pelosi, another mob boss. I mean, she is mafia, folks. Look into her. And went to Congress with no money, worth hundreds of millions now. I mean, just a monstrous creature. And she says, I guarantee Trump will not be president here today, gone tomorrow. That's the same thing the actor George Clooney says, because he hates women, because he doesn't want to bring Muslims in. I mean, just upside down world. Let's go ahead and play Nancy Don Corleone Pelosi.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank. Okay. I guarantee it. All right, all right. And hopefully, and I'm certain it will happen when we have our nominee, whoever she may be. Right. She will take this debate to a higher plane.
I mean, if we had 40 million Americans in Mexico waving American flags, the Mexicans would flip out. Even if it was Americans bringing money and jobs. But we're getting mainly poor people in. We're collapsing. We're going bankrupt. The multinationals are doing this. It's not racist to say we can't have 10,000 women coming in every week from China to have their babies for free. And then even, quote, wealthy Chinese come here. Because why shouldn't you have a $30,000, $40,000 birth here for free? Even rich people come here because we're such a joke. Because the globalists know taxpayers are paying for it all, and they're collapsing us by design. And then she sits there and turns it into, we're going to a higher plane. Like the Lolita Express with the convicted pedophile with Clinton flying around with the little kids. I mean, up at 33,000 feet where nobody can save them. At 30,000 feet, no one can hear you scream. And on Pedo Island, no one can hear you scream when that weird, undead zombie Bill Clinton walks into the bedroom. We got to get weaponized against these people. We can't back down. We got to go all the way against these enemies of the Republic. Let's go ahead now and go to another clip. Here's Bill Clinton talking like Donald Trump on immigration in 1996.
One of these areas is the problem of illegal immigration.
We have to stop the inflow of illegals coming into our country.
This administration has taken a strong stand to stiffen the protection of our borders.
We will build a wall. It will do what it's supposed to do. Keep illegal immigrants out.
Now, you can just type in Mexico, the worst on immigrants, Mexico, the hardest on illegals, 6 months to 1 year hard labor. If you've got credit cards and ID, they call your family in Guatemala or wherever and try to shake money out of you. And then they also will torture the illegals or even Mexican citizens to find out if they're hiding illegals or if they're illegals to shake money out of them. And that's what Mexico does to its own people. It does it to tourists that go out of the tourist zones. I mean, warning to Americans, folks. If you're going to Mexico, there's 4 or 5 cities you can go to now and a few other zones. But you better not go into the other areas because you'll be shaken down. And that's a fact. Like, don't go to North Korea. It's dangerous. And Mexico is degenerating. And I don't take pleasure in that. Believe me, if there was a safer country around here, I'd be getting out of here. I mean, this country, I don't think you can fix it at some levels. Those of us that don't want to be slaves should start saying no to the system and try to create communities based on freedom. And I guess migrate to states that are not going to go along with this. But we are in the hands of really, really evil people, folks. Now, let's go ahead and go to another clip that I want to break down here. And that's dealing with what's happening with Joy Behar. I've been on her show before, both The View and on her CNN show. It's a pretty nice lady behind the scenes. Don't blame Hillary for Bill unless you blame Melania for Trump's sexual harassment. That is such a horrible statement. Melania has only been married to him, what is it, or Melania for, I don't know, 10 years or whatever. I can't pronounce any names, including my own. Sorry, folks, no teleprompter. And Hillary was there politically going after these women and saying they were liars actively. And Clinton settled rape cases and got caught engaged in perjury. We're talking about Trump asking women out when he wasn't married and Trump telling an old girlfriend 30 years ago in the 80s she was overweight. And now that's been recanted by the girlfriend. So it's apples and oranges. Yes, if she was defending Trump years after he settled rape cases and she was political, then you could criticize her. But she hasn't done that yet, and Donald Trump hasn't done anything. So this is how they've scrambled reality. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
So when he accuses Bill Clinton often of sexual harassment.
Okay, that's another thing. You know what? They're going to bring up Bill Clinton. When he gets accused of all of this, he brings up Bill Clinton. Okay, Bill Clinton's a dog also. What does that have to do with Hillary Clinton? Well, are we going to ask Melania? Are we going to blame Melania for this piece in the Times?
Well, you'd have
okay,
to
so don't go after Hillary.
Melania hasn't covered anything up because Donald Trump hasn't done anything. Just because you write a 16-page article about how he would go to cocktail parties and ask good-looking women out or ask them what they like to do for fun. I mean, what man hasn't done that before they were married or after they were married? But see, being normal is freakazoid nowadays. I want to go to your phone calls. We're going to do that when we come back from this break. But first, I want to play the ex who was misquoted as saying that he said she was fat once, and that was just the end of the world. This is Ms. Lane talking about the fact that he was a gentleman on Fox.
I did not have a negative experience with Donald Trump, and I don't appreciate them making it look like that I was saying that it was a negative experience. Because
you knew him very well, right? You dated him for several months?
That's correct. I saw him around all types of people, all types of women. He was very kind, thoughtful, generous. You know, he was a gentleman.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have known Donald Trump, not just Stone, for 30, 40 years, and they just say the guy is so nice, unless you mess with him, that it's just wild. In fact, even the brash guy you see on The Apprentice and stuff was an exaggeration of Trump, and he just treats women so good. So good. But he also doesn't put up with any crap. Zero from women. Zero. Totally nice to him. Best houses, flying around the world, caviar, the best exercise, the best transportation, the best homes, everything. Treated like princesses, but he doesn't put up with any baloney. And so that's supposedly a bad thing. That's supposedly an evil thing. That's supposedly a horrible thing. But I've talked to some people that work for Trump, and they just say, if you're a hard worker, do a good job. He is so loyal. His whole organization is loyal. But the minute you do sideways stuff, you're gone. And the amount of money he gives to charity behind the scenes is reportedly staggering. I mean, everybody's heard about the stories he never talked about deformed kids of staff of his or people that stopped when his limousine was broken down and helped give him a jump so he paid off their, what was it, like $400,000 house mortgage. I mean, Trump is a wild man. And they don't like him because of the fact that he's for real. As best I can tell, folks, Donald Trump is for real. He wants to be the turnaround expert that helps the American people help him turn this country around. And the reason it's so easy is globalism is designed to make us bankrupt and dependent and controlled. All you do is turn off globalism, and our nation state will explode. The United States, until 1913 on average, had a 10.2% growth rate. They call 3% overheating now. And that's with cooked numbers. So they want us poor. Donald Trump doesn't.
I want more candy. I want more video games. Lie.
And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com.